Hello, everyone. This is Anthony with the Dragons of Victory. So, as of now on this channel, I have not made any content where there's a video I want to respond to and I edit so where I cut back and forth between the video a video clip and then me responding. Couple reasons. One is that um, I don't want to be accused of selectively editing something or taking something out of context. Um, that usually just means that the person doesn't have the time to go through the video, watch the entire video themselves to ensure that I'm not putting it in context. But I just thought, well, why even bother? I'll just take a video I want to respond to, link to it in the description, say what I need to say here, and you can watch it for yourself. Now, I'm going to attach a few videos in the description here, and it'll be a lot to watch. And I don't blame you for not wanting to, because another reason I haven't done that kind of content yet, is that it hurts my soul to a profound degree to have to continuously listen to this nonsense and to just absorb these awful people for as long as I sometimes do for research purposes. It just brings me back in some ways, and it's just exhausting. But for some people out there, they can't get enough of these people. These people, they hang on to their every word. And that's how influencers typically are in the trad Catholic community. They're worshipped and they're lionized, and people hang on their every word, and you can see it in the comments of these videos I'll attach. So the two videos I'm attaching, well, I'm going to attach three. The first two are, um, you know, content of these trad Catholic creators, just speaking their truths, And the third one will be a video clip, to just bring a point to home, and I'll explain that in a minute. So the first video is someone who two people I've talked about before, Kennedy Hall and Taylor Marshall. Fairly big in the Taylor Marshall, definitely big in the trad Catholic world, in terms of traditional Catholic influencers and whatnot. And Taylor Marshall, I've said this before, I have some personal experience with. I never met him, I never talked to him face to face, but I would see him all the time when I went to Mater Dei. Um, uh, he was there all the time, he still goes there. I'm pretty, he definitely still goes there. And the third video I'm going to attach here is a video of the priest who hurt me, baptizing Taylor Marshall's son. So this is just to show the close connection this guy had or has to this continues to my my experience. But in this first video, it's Kennedy Hall and Taylor Marshall vindicating the Dragons of Victory, vindicating its name. I said in my video, the Dragons of Victory introduction, that traditional Catholics think dragons are real because St. George killed one. So if it's in the church history, they have to take it literally true, pretty much. And if they don't think it's a literal dragon the way we would think of it, they would say, well, it's dinosaurs. Because again, they're creationists. Humans lived with dinosaurs. That's what they believe when you really drill down in. On the surface level, you might get some resistance, like we don't believe that, but drill down and you definitely do. And ultimately, that's what the church used to teach. And is creation science. And so yeah, all the dragons in the past were dinosaurs. That's what they were really talking about there. It's ludicrous. It's stupid. I have no qualms whatsoever in saying that's a stupid idea. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say that to somebody who thinks that, but just thinks that. And it's just, you know, they feel like they have to believe it because, they have to, it corresponds, it's what their church teaches, so they have to accept it. And if they're just sort of believing that and it's just sort of a thing in their mind, so okay, like there's plenty of things, strange things that I believe and strange things that other people believe that I'm not going to mock them for necessarily because they're not doing anything with it destructively. So, yeah, Kennedy Hall and Taylor Marshall, the first video, you'll see an hour of them in this in their smug, arrogant way talking about how stupid you are for not thinking that we lived with dinosaurs and that dragons were probably dinosaurs. In the second video, I'm including here in order to demonstrate the important thing here. The second video is this guy Christian Wagner, who, as far as I can tell, seems like a traditional Catholic YouTuber. I haven't gone too deep into his content because it's exceptionally vile. But especially the video I'm going to attach. The video I'm going to attach is just him expressing this militant take over the world attitude that the trad Caths have that's so dangerous. And it's it's so I'm including those two videos together as well as the third one so you can see this priest interacting with Taylor Marshall to see how connected Taylor Marshall is to all this to my past experience, but also the first two videos taken together. First one, ridiculous ideas said with absolute certainty, said with arrogance and contempt to the outside world for not believing these stupid ideas. And second, an attitude from a different source as well, but it doesn't take um, shook the camera there a little bit. It doesn't take that much analysis at all to see these two attitudes or these two beliefs permeating the traditional Catholic world. And the second video where this guy Christian Wagner, this repulsive human being, you can see him gleefully instructing people to have an attitude of aggression and an attitude of a conquering mindset. And that's what's so frankly scary about all this is that it's when we're done laughing at these people who think that Adam and Eve rode around on dinosaurs and that dragons were really dinosaurs. We should laugh at that, but when we're done laughing, we need to understand that to these people it's deadly serious, and it's serious to them to the point where they would, if they had the power, would take action to impose these ideas. And oftentimes they're not above violence. John Paul II, after he was shot, was stabbed by a traditional Catholic priest who, as he stabbed him, shouted, "Down with the Second Vatican Council." And the main issue, the the reason I'm doing this channel and the main point I want to get across is that those who believe absurdities will commit atrocities. Not all the time necessarily. Like I said before, I think you can believe absurdities and not necessarily commit atrocities, but it's a slippery slope, it's a thin line, and it for a lot of people, depending on your on your personality or how you already are, or the kind of actions you're already predisposed to. These kinds of absurdities give people license to commit atrocities. Um, and there needs to be a wider awareness of this. There needs to be more awareness and understanding of the potential dangers and the manifest dangers that are just intertwined with the fabric, the organization. These issues need to be understood because if they got their way, there would be a hellscape. It would be a totalitarian nightmare, much closer to 1984 than the confused, often confused right-wing understanding of how they think 1984 is, what they think it's about. So, just to bring this point home, imagine a totalitarian flat earther organization, or a government where denial of the flat earth is punishable by death or punishable by torture. And look at the history of the church with Galileo and Bruno. Bruno was killed, Galileo was threatened with torture because they were stating basic science, basic truths, things that are demonstrably provable. So you can watch if you can stomach it, and if you watch the videos that I linked below, and you come away thinking, "Wow, I'm convinced these people know what they're talking about," then I've got nothing. Then I've got really nothing to say. I don't think there would be anything productive done whatsoever if I were attempt to have a dialogue with you. There's just certain people there's just I just don't have the bandwidth or energy or desire to engage with these people because people who take these ideas seriously, I don't think could possibly either A, couldn't be possibly be acting in good faith, or B, are just too far gone to be reasoned with. But there's many people in the Tradcath world who aren't too far gone to be reasoned with. And I also want any kids out there, kids who are like me, who, again, without going into too much into it, with my family, we was kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out in many ways, but there are so many families I saw who were far, far deeper into the Tradcath world than even I was. And the confusion and the pain and the is probably so much more hidden for them and those families. But this is to just again, A, get this message out there more, and B, hopefully someone out there will watch this, someone who's being raised in these families, and how you deal with it in terms of I'm not telling you what you should do in terms of how you deal with your own family. That's your own journey. It's your own environment. I don't have anything to say about that. But what I do have to say is there's something fundamentally wrong with this environment, and it needs to be understood. People who are in it and recognize that but don't know what to do about that fact, hopefully you'll watch this, watch content from me, watch content from other people, and you can start to put the pieces back together yourself. And you can start to figure out you could potentially start to have a better idea of how to get yourself out of that situation and how to fly away to victory.